Welcome to college football today. Jay Ron right here at RSN Studios. Stanford USC tonight in the Pac12 Championship. This is the SN College Football Today Championship Friday edition. We welcome you into our RSN Studios. In our studios. Georgia Auburn tomorrow. That's the game of the week, according to SN Network. Stanford and USC tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time, all-time Central on our network on ESPN. Tomorrow on Fox, it's Oklahoma TCU. And a late night on Fox, it's the Big Ten Championship between Wisconsin and Ohio State. As in college football today, we're here for the Pac12 Championship. But first, let's talk about the college football playoff. Top 25. Let's get that up for you. Disregard my top 10, but this is college football playoff top 25. So you got Clemson at 1, Auburn 2, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Alabama, Georgia, Miami, Ohio State, Penn State, USC. Now, Clemson, a win in the rain. We know that. Auburn, a win in the rain. Oklahoma, Wisconsin. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Georgia, I believe, a win in the rain. Miami, probably a win in the rain. Now, that's where it gets tricky. Ohio State, USC play this week. And TCU. All play against teams that are in the top 4 right now. And Georgia. So, now USC doesn't play a team in the top 4. They play Stanford. But they're in the hunt, so to speak. The teams that could potentially gift spots to other teams would be Ohio State. If they win, they'll open us a spot, and there's going to be arguments for who should get that spot. And definitely if TCU wins over Oklahoma, which is ranked number 3 right now, if they beat Oklahoma, then a spot's going to open up. Now, if it's very likely that if Miami wins, that they will go to the college football playoff. But if the only way that they wouldn't is maybe like Ohio State would have to pin the nail in the coffin at that point or something. I don't even know. But you'd have to have like 2 SEC teams or something, because I think if Miami wins, they're better than Alabama. I don't see Alabama. That's even number 5 right now. I had Alabama at number 7 in my top 10. I'm obviously biased for the Big Ten, but I had the Big Ten teams where they are in the committee's top 10. But really, Ohio State should be ahead of Alabama right now. You look at the big wins. Ohio State, 2 top 15 wins right now. Alabama 0. The committee doesn't care really about these top 15 wins, because Ohio State, one was against Penn State, and it was a end of the game touchdown. Michigan State won. Michigan State is number 16, but they're not top 15, but top 16. Top 16. That's what I was going to say. They put the pound on them. If it was a close game, they'd probably be higher than 16. But they took it to Michigan State. And this is a Michigan State team that was well coached this year. They didn't play well against Notre Dame. They didn't play well against top-tier opponents, but they beat Penn State. Michigan State beat Penn State. It was an ugly game. Penn State really should have won. That was a very ugly game. It was out in the mud. But Michigan State beat Penn State. In Penn State, really, Penn State doesn't really have a resume right now. It's garbage, but Penn State dominated some teams. Now the scenarios. Now, if TCU wins, who do I want to see in the playoff? If TCU beats Oklahoma, well, Oklahoma's going to be out. We can clear that out. If they're number 2, they'd have an argument. But at number 3, you're long gone from the top 4. So if TCU beats Oklahoma, that would be a really good win for TCU. Now, USC, let's say USC beats Stanford. I think of those two, TCU would be higher because TCU, I would believe, USC has 2 losses, right? Let me check my... So, there's a lot of things that could happen. So, now let's see here. So if Ohio State beats Wisconsin, I think Ohio State should be in over Alabama and the losers of Clemson, Miami. Now the argument, if Clemson loses to Miami, should Clemson stay in? Say TCU beats Oklahoma and Miami beats Clemson. Should Clemson be in the top 4? A then 2-loss Clemson, would they be better than Alabama? Clemson be better than a 1-loss Alabama. Clemson, they would have lost to Miami, which is not a bad loss at all, and then Syracuse, or an Alabama team that lost to Auburn. But remember, Clemson beat Auburn. That's the common opponent. The only common opponent I believe you can find between the two teams. I don't know if South Carolina playing both, but they put the pound to South Carolina, so we don't want to talk about that. So if Clemson loses, are they still in? They're number 1 right now. Do you see them dropping 3 spots to 5 or 4 spots to 6? Because are they still better than Alabama at 2 losses? That's the argument that we're not hearing is Clemson still in if they lose? Because right now the committee really gives them respect at number 1. Oklahoma, not so much. I had an Oklahoma at number 1 because I really think that this team is dominant. 1 loss to Iowa State. Iowa State is pretty good, but you know they played everybody close this year. They took Iowa down to the wire. They took a lot of teams down to the wire, except Kansas and Baylor. Those teams, everybody just took them real bad. I'll have my top 10 out before the selection show on Sunday. But let's get to the games we got today and this weekend. Here on Championship Friday, we got Stanford and USC, the Pac12 Championship. Well, Okay, so Jay will be absent. So let's get to the games. I did not edit these yet. These images. I should, but I'm lazy. I'm too lazy to do my work. Okay, so we have this one game this week. Stanford USC. I'm in this tonight. Oops. There's a lot of chaos that could happen. But really, the matchups this year, really good across the board. Tonight is a double points game. If JB absent, JB gets sound this, and minus 5 points for bowl games. If you're absent to any of the shows, you're absent to today or tomorrow's minus 5 points, or the Army Navy show, you're minus 5 for both. The 3 shows that must be shown up to, or minus 5 for bowl games. We have to get our minutes in because you can't afford to miss these shows, or you will be charged. Your tolls will be paid. So, JW absent. We will write that in. But JW gets to pick all games first tomorrow.
Hello.
So I'm going to pick. Oh, JW auto picks nobody.
I pick SC. I pick the SC.
So, and JB shows up just so we're about to say he's absent.
I pick SC. Bye-bye. I had to go.
So he picks the Trojans. The committee was very favorable to Stanford with the ranking. I've got USC though. Sam Darnold, he's played well in the clutch this season, I believe. I don't think Stanford can get it done tonight. We saw they ripped the hearts out of Notre Dame, but can they rip the hearts out of USC? It was an emotional game last week. I think USC wins tonight, though. USC, they're playing for a lot. Stanford cannot make the college football playoff. USC, they have an argument. Winner of this game goes to, I believe, the Fiesta Bowl, probably. Most likely it would be the Fiesta Bowl, the winner of this game. So it still means a lot because the Fiesta Bowl is a good bowl game. You know, it's not as good as the Rose Bowl, but this year you don't get to play. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time. You guys better show up. We were talking about the road to the college football playoff continues tomorrow with the other championship games. Championship Saturday tomorrow. Only SN. SN Sports, home of the college football playoff coverages. We are This has been SN College Football Today on Championship Friday, a special edition of our SN College Football Today. I've got USC. JW has USC tomorrow, 10 a.m. See you then. But for our entire crew, J-Rod saying so long. Peace out.